Yo, kiddo! It's me again, your favorite alien pal, Alf. Once upon a time on Melmac, a very long time ago, when a friendly Gurge got the urge, he'd eat up a kingdom or so. Once upon a time on Melmac, at the bottom of a murky lake, there were a couple of snoots in rubber suits with briefcases full of cake. There was a table-hopping glabble who was always hanging around, spreading silly little rumors about everybody in town. But those were good old days because they were once upon a time on Melmac, and what a once upon a time it was. Yeah, I really like that song. It reminds me of those Saturday nights back on Melmac, when I used to babysit my little twin cousins, Eddie and Van. Man, I tried everything to get those guys to go to sleep. I even sang to them, but I guess they didn't like my taste in music. They called me old-fashioned. Can you believe it? Ha! Me, the hippest dude at Melmac High. I mean, my sideburns were so long, I had to stuff them in my pockets so I wouldn't step on them. Anyway, you know those two kids in the fairy tale who are always getting into trouble? Yeah, that's right. Hansel and Gretel. Well, Eddie and Van got into even more trouble than they did. Boy, I'll never forget the first time I babysat for them. Just as I'm waving goodbye to their folks, I hear a scream that turns my blood red. I mean, it was so awful, it would have turned your blood green. So I run to the kids' room and holy moly, there's the scariest looking pair of punk rockers you ever saw. What's happened to you guys, I say? Last time I was here, you were the cutest little alien kids on the block. That was before we became punk rockers, says Eddie. Yeah, says Van. Now we're totally rad, man. Well, what was all that yelling, I say? It sounded like a glabble with his paw caught in the cookie jar. Nah, says Eddie. We were just dancing to a new song by Johnny Scream. Yeah, says Van. He's rad to the max. Come on, Gordo, join the party. Party, I say. What party? They're wearing metal spikes and all the chains they could get, and the music they're playing makes my stomach upset. If this is fun, I'm not having any yet. Maybe you can help. I sure hope so. When I ask, where's the party, you say, I don't know. Where's the party? Where's the party? Where's the party? You can dress me up, but you can't make me go. I tried to slam dance, but I got all bruised. I got a note from my doctor. Can I be excused? If this is a good time, I'm really confused. Maybe you can help? I sure hope so. When I ask, where's the party, you say, I don't know. Where's the party? Where's the party? Where's the party? You can dress me up, but you can't make me go. Nowhere to go, I say? Well, don't worry, guys. We can have a party right here. Nah, says Eddie. We want to go to the Whiplash Club and see Johnny Scream. But then Van pipes up with, Sure, Gordo, we'll party with you. Let's play a game of pin the tail on the lettuce. You're it. All right, I say, now you're talking. So Van puts the blindfold on me and spins me around. Then I take the tail in my hand and start feeling around for the lettuce. But just when I think I've got it, oops! Crash! I trip over my toes and fall flat on my snout. Well, I bet you know what happened next. Of course, by the time I get the blindfold off and look around, there's no sign of Eddie and Van anywhere. Uh-oh, I say to myself, one guess where they are. And it isn't in the kitchen making hot chocolate. So I put on my party hat and head straight for the Whiplash Club. And before I can get more than half a block, I hear a fur-curling scream. So I hail a passing jet cab and say, Driver, follow that scream. And in about 3.5 microseconds, we arrive at the Whiplash, which is what I get when the jet cab skids to a stop. Here, I tell the driver, Take all my money. I'll probably never get out of this place alive. 'Cause I gotta tell you, kiddo, the Whiplash Club is not a pretty sight. I mean, it's packed with the grodiest bunch of punk aliens you ever saw. And guess who's right in the middle of the dance floor? Ha! That's right! Eddie and Van. And then the screaming starts again. Only it isn't Johnny's scream. It's the kids on the dance floor. What's going on, I say to my cousins. They're mad, say Eddie and Van, 'cause Johnny Scream didn't show up for his show. Well, then let's get out of here, I say, before they tear this place apart. But it's too late. The crowd is closing in on us, and the only way out is up on stage. Next thing I know, Eddie hands me a microphone, and Van says, "Go for it, Gordo." So that's just what I do. I go for it. Yeah, get down. Everybody's here to have a good time. We're dancing and singing and feeling just fine. There's standing room only. They're waiting in line. So why don't you help? Are you ready to cheer? When I say where's the party, you say it's right here. Where's the party? Where's the party? Yo, where's the party? We're all dressed up. We're gonna party all year. Hey, I bet you're thinking Eddie and Van must have been ready for Betty by the time we got home, right? Wrong. They were wider awake than ever. So I figure I'll dip into my trusty joke bag and pull out a couple of really bad ones. If they don't put the twins to sleep, nothing will. Okay, guys, I say, here's a joke for you. Why did the punk rockers let a turkey join their band? Go ahead, kiddo. See if you can tell me. Give up? Why did the punk rockers let a turkey join their band? 'Cause he had his own drumsticks. That's why. Uh-oh. Eddie and Van are laughing their heads off. I guess that joke was pretty funny after all. So okay, forget the punk rockers. How about a chicken joke? They're really bad. Ready? Why did the chicken cross the road? Go ahead, see if you can tell me. Why did the chicken cross the road? 'Cause the light was green. Pretty bad, huh? Well, I thought so too, but not Eddie and Van. They're still laughing their heads off. Man, these guys are weirder than I thought. So by this time it's almost midnight, right? But do you think Eddie and Van are ready for bed yet? No way, Jose. They're ready to party some more. Hey guys, I say, give the old ALFer a break, will you? These all-nighters just kill me. Oh, come on, say Eddie and Van. Don't be such a party pooper. Tell us a story. Sure, I say, a story. Hey, how come I have to do all the work? But then I get a great idea. Okay, guys, I say, I will tell you a story. It's all about a race between a glabble and a snoot. But first, let's have our own race around the block. Yeah, say Eddie and Van. That's rad. What do we get if we win? Well, I say, if I win the race, you two guys have to go straight to bed. Okay, say Eddie and Van. But what if we win? If you win, which, by the way, you haven't got a snowball's chance on Mercury of doing, you get to stay up all night. It's a deal, say Eddie and Van. Let's get started. Well, little did my cousins know what I had in store for them. But if you know the story of the tortoise and the hare, you might be able to guess. Remember, the hare thinks he could beat the tortoise any old day. So he takes a nap right in the middle of the race. And by the time he wakes up, the tortoise is crossing the finish line. Boy, talk about being a smart aleck. That hare was so embarrassed, he sold his sneakers and took up basket weaving. So anyhow, right away, I begin to put my plan into action. Before we start, I say to my cousins, we have to do some warm-up exercises. What for? Say Eddie and Van. So we don't hurt ourselves in the race, I say. Just listen to this song and do what it says. And hey, kiddo, help me out and warm up too, will you? We'll make Eddie and Van so tired, they won't even be able to start the race. We're gonna get that body in shape. Work out. Get into the groove. First we're gonna stretch. Now here we go. Get up on your feet and get ready to move. All right, now put your hands on your waist with your elbows sticking out. Bend to the left side. Now straighten up. Now bend to the right and straighten up. Keep going. Bend and straighten. Bend and straighten. This is how I keep so slim and trim. You say you're running out of room on your measuring tape? Well, let's get that body in shape. Hey, that's great, I say to my cousins. I knew you guys would like this stuff. Can we start the race now? Ask Eddie and Van. Not yet, I say. We're not finished warming up. Now, let's do some jumping jacks. You too, kiddo. Don't let the old ALFer down. We're gonna get that body in shape. Work out. Get into the groove. Now we're gonna do 10 jumping jacks. Get up on your feet and get ready to move. All right, to do a jumping jack, stand with your feet together, arms at your sides. Then jump up, clap your hands over your head, and land with your feet apart. Then jump up again and land with your feet together. Here we go. 1 and 2 and jump and jump. 5 and 6 and that's the way. 9 and 10 and that's the end. Gee, Gordo, asked Eddie and Van, aren't we warmed up yet? Almost, I say. Just one more and then we can start the race. See, kiddo, our plan is really working. Eddie and Van are almost too pooped to punk. But just to make sure, let's do one more warm-up. Let's run in place. We're gonna get that body in shape. Let's go! Get into the groove! Now we're gonna run, but stay in one place. Get up on your feet and get ready to move. Now pretend you're running, but don't go anywhere. Lift your knees up high and move your arms up and down. Ready? Here we go. Run in place. Now lift those feet. That's it. Don't forget to breathe, okay? Ha! Run, 2, 3, 4. Run, puff, puff, puff. Phew! Oh, kiddo, you could slow down now. We better quit before I'm too pooped to race. And now for the rest of the plan. Okay, cousins, I say. You did a great job. We're all warmed up, so let's start the race. But I'm too pooped to race, says Eddie. Me too, says Van. I'm pooped out. Well, don't worry, I say. I'll even give you guys a head start. Get on your marks. Get set. Go! Well, the twins take about 2 steps each, and then they wobble, and then they stagger, and yeah, they fall to their furry little knees. So I point them towards the house and say, bedroom is that-a-way, guys. And by the time I take my one lap around the block, walking, of course, hey, Eddie and Van are sound asleep under the covers. Yahoo, I say, it worked. And hey, thanks a mil, kiddo. I couldn't have done it without you.